Hey, what's up everyone? This is Zach, and I am here with an album review for you guys. And this is actually an AI album, which I don't think I've ever reviewed an AI album before on this channel. This is the first one, so that's pretty cool. Now, when it comes to my thoughts on AI music, for those who don't know, AI music is pretty much hit and miss for me. There's some of it that I really do like, but some of it I'm not too crazy on. But I'm not completely against AI music, as there have been AI songs that I do enjoy. So there's that. But this was a paid request from Azure White Music, aka Aaron. So thank you so much for the request, Aaron. And he wanted me to take a look at his AI album, which is titled The Course of Things, which I thought, heck yeah, I'll go ahead and check this out. I didn't know that Aaron made this album, so I'm definitely interested in checking this out. So I went ahead and gave it a listen, and I have to say that I thought that this was solid. I actually did like this for what it was. But before we go any further, if anyone else would like to send in a paid request, you can message me on social media, preferably Instagram, but I also do have Facebook and Discord, so if you have me on there, you can message me there, and I will go ahead and give you my Cash App, and we will go from there. Also, PayPal is an option for close friends. So that is definitely something worth keeping in mind. And it doesn't have to just be for a music review. It could be a movie review or a random topic discussion type video, or it could be a countdown list, whatever it is you want to see from me. Within reason, of course, just message me and feel free to let me know what you would like to see. Also, thumbnails. If anyone needs thumbnails made for them, for their content, just feel free to message me and we can work something out with that as well. And for anyone that has sent in requests before, thank you so much. So, The Course of Things, the AI album from Azure White Music. Again, I did like this. I did think that this was solid. Now, for those who don't know, Azure White Music, aka Aaron, he is the guy that actually does the scores, the soundtracks for my films. He has done a lot of my films, actually, so I can't give him enough credit for that. Definitely a really good composer. He has done most of the Zerone films. The only one he hasn't done was the first one. He's done Escape from Corlector. He's done the Italian Sniper remake. He has done X-Ray, and he will most likely do the next one as well. Now, with the next film, that's a whole complicated situation. I know I haven't really announced anything yet. That's still something that, I gotta talk to some people about, because the next film situation is pretty complicated, but hopefully we'll get something going here soon. Now, as for X-Ray, I actually did some music in that film as well. But of course, Azure White did most of it. And that was the first film that I did, playing with music on. And, it's definitely not easy, especially when it's something that, you're new to, like you don't know anything about making music, because for me personally, I know that people have asked me this personally before, like, do I play any instruments or anything? And no, I do not. I am not musically talented. I am definitely not as good as, of course, Aaron is at this kind of stuff, and I definitely give him props for that, for sure. And again, I thought that this album, The Course of Things, was solid. I did think that it was good. Now, when I was listening to this album, first going into this album, I'm like, oh, this is metalcore. Like this is a metalcore album that he made, which, wasn't really surprising, because I know that, of course, Aaron is into that type of music. But as I was listening to this album more and more, I'm like, yeah, like this is basically melodic metalcore, but like there's some different flavors thrown in there as well. Like it's not just through and through a metalcore album where it's just a metalcore album from start to finish. No, there's some variety in there. There's some songs where it slows things down a bit, which I definitely appreciate. So it definitely has a lot of melody to it, which I do like. You know, it's got the heaviness, the melody, you know, everything you want in a metalcore record, basically. And again, I know that Aaron is a big fan of that stuff. I know that me and him talk often about bands like Demon Hunter, especially. I know he's a big Demon Hunter fan. Yeah, and it's the type of metalcore that I do like, you know. And when it comes to metalcore, for me personally, metalcore is also something that's kind of hit and miss. When it comes to metalcore, I prefer the early 2000s bands. Of course, you know, bands like Demon Hunter, Killswitch Engage, and Trivium, those types of bands. Those are the type of metalcore bands that I like. Modern metalcore or later metalcore doesn't really do a whole lot for me. I'm just being honest about that. But the course of things, this album definitely had a lot going for it. Again, you know, I definitely like those moments where it did slow things down a bit, and, you know, the different, how not every song, you know, sounded alike or anything. Like, there's different things going for each of these songs. I would say some of my favorites on this album are I Understand, Leave Me Alone, which Leave Me Alone is a really unique song, in my opinion, because the song has some energy to it, but then later in the song, it slows things down a bit, which I definitely appreciate. And I also enjoyed Devoid and Obsolete as well. That's another very solid track from this album. So yeah, I thought that this album was very solid start to finish. The album is only 10 tracks, so yeah, I thought that this was good. Again, it is only AI, but, you know, you can work with AI. You know, it's one of those things that, like, you know, you can work with, and it could turn out really well. And I believe Aaron also did the lyrics to this album as well. So, you know, he definitely has some talent in the writing department as well. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, again, you know, it definitely has that metalcore sound to it. Stuff like As I Lay Dying and Killswitch Engage, that type of style, which I know, again, Aaron is a big fan of that type of music. So if you are a fan of that type of music, you'll probably find something that you will enjoy from this. You probably will like this. And I like this. I thought that this was good. So good job on this album, Aaron. I thought it was good. I thought that this was solid. So if I were to give this album a rating or a score, I'm going to have to give The Course of Things probably a strong 8 out of 10. A strong 8 out of 10. A good one for sure. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Take care.